Okay, this story is almost too embarrassing to tell, but it makes for a funny video. Now, some people might say that the previous injury videos were more of an accident than a self-induced injury. Well, this video is absolutely a self-induced injury, and in my opinion, pretty hilarious. It's essentially a story about me trying to be a good son, and how a quote-unquote brilliant idea backfired. So there's this tree on a hill in my parents' yard, and my mom had said many times since they bought the house that she wanted a tire swing, and how it would look so perfect on that tree. Well, we had an old tire out there, and rope's not too expensive. So I thought I could do that easily, and then today I'd be the favorite son and get all the praise and glory. So the tree branch I was trying to get a rope around is probably like 20 feet above me, and we didn't have a ladder that was tall enough to reach it. Also, the tree is huge, and the branches are too high up to try and climb it. The only option I could think of was to try and throw the rope over the branch. I know, genius, right? Well, I tied off a section of the rope to give it some weight, but it just wasn't heavy enough to bring the rest of the rope with it. So I was looking for something I could tie to the end of it to give it some more weight, and I found a large stick. Now, when I decided to tie the stick to the rope, is also when my brain cells started packing up and slowly leaving me to fend for myself. Bro, we're not sticking around for this. I'm sorry, but this is gonna backfire on you, man. Just watch. And in my mind, I was thinking, yo, this will definitely work. I just gotta throw it hard enough to make it over the branch. But after multiple failed attempts, I figured that the stick was still not heavy enough to bring the rope with it. So I was looking for something that wasn't too big and also heavy enough to bring the rope over the branch. And I stumbled across a brick. Well, the brick I found seemed heavy enough, but now I had to throw it with enough force to make it and the rope go over a 20-foot high branch. So I tried a couple different ideas, but I still wasn't throwing it hard enough. Then I decided to try and throw it kind of like a lasso. I swung it around a few good times, putting all my strength into it. Then I let go, aiming for the branch. Now, this is when everything went wrong, and honestly, it felt like everything happened in slow motion. No lie. Well, I threw the brick, and probably less than a second after, I felt a tug on my foot. So I looked down, God, and then realized that I was standing on the rope. So I looked up again, and by this point, the brick was already on its way back to the point of origin, which was me. I quickly looked down so I didn't get hit in the face, and thankfully I did, because that brick hit the top of my head extremely hard.
Bruh.
Dude, what the huh?
I told you, bitch.
Dude, don't look at us. You did that yourself, moron. Can you believe this asshole? Well, when it hit me, honestly, I didn't feel anything. Maybe it was from my adrenaline pumping or something. But a second after I was hit, it felt like someone poured cold water on my head, and it was now running down my face. This is when my Aunt Gigi noticed what had happened, and she took a shirt and put it on my head and kept saying, "It's all right, you're all right." I think to calm herself down. Because honestly, I felt fine. I was even laughing at her about it. But when she pulled the shirt off my head to wipe my face is when I realized the severity of the situation, because that shirt was soaked with my blood. I looked down at myself and saw that my shirt was covered in blood as well. So I was losing a lot of blood, and quickly. My aunt kept pressure on my head with the shirt, and somebody, I think my mom, had called an ambulance. And they arrived pretty quickly, for once. Now, I was kind of nervous when the paramedics arrived, because I thought I would need stitches or something. And as you know from the previous video, I now have some PTSD when it comes to needles. But no, they said I didn't need to get stitches or anything, thank God. And they said it's normal for a head injury to bleed that much, but they also said, due to the wound, I must have gotten hit pretty hard, and they were surprised it didn't knock me out. That's right, your boy could take a hit. God. For the next week, it sucked trying to shower, because every time I tried to wash my hair, my head would start bleeding again. Also, the brick kind of pushed my skin back when it hit me, so I have a small permanent bump on my head, and hair won't grow there now. So I have a line probably 2 inches long on my head that's completely bald. But now when a cute girl asks me about my scar, I'm like, yeah, got hit with a brick, no big deal. But besides the scar, nothing bad happened luckily, and now I know not to throw bricks attached to ropes. And if I do, to make sure I'm not standing on the freaking rope. Idiot. But you want to know the funniest part about this story? We did get that tire swing up later on, and a few years later, that branch broke off the tree because of a bad storm. So all of this happened for nothing essentially. Now I have a scar on my head, and my mom doesn't have a tire swing. Well, hopefully you guys can take something from this video, even if it's just a few minutes of entertainment. I really don't know what kind of moral you would get out of this. But if you ever get an idea, and it seems like a good one, just think, could this backfire on me in a really bad way? And then try it anyway, because if it does backfire, at least you'll have a funny story to tell people. But, okay guys, thanks for watching, I truly do appreciate it. And if you guys want to support the channel, then subscribe, hit the like button, and if you know anyone that would enjoy these videos, then show it to them. But, okay, thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.